We will now begin our nomination. Thank you all for attending. We are gathered tonight to nominate our candidate for Connecticut's 25th State Senate District. This convention will follow the rules of the state party and followed by Robert's Rule of Order. I now open the floor for nominations. Please nominate a candidate by unmuting yourself and speaking.
Good evening. Harry Rilling, proxy for Ed Camacho. It gives me great pleasure to put forth the name of Senator Bob Duff. Bob is not only a good friend of mine, he's a good friend of Norwalk and a good friend of the state of Connecticut. He was elected in 2002 to the House of Representatives in the state of Connecticut, and shortly after nominated and elected to the 25th Senatorial District, and has risen to the position of Majority Leader. Bob has a political capital at the state of Connecticut. He is admired and respected by his peers, and he is a leader in the state of Connecticut. He's worked very hard for Norwalk and the residents of our entire state. The most important thing is, though, that Bob espouses the values that we all espouse as Democrats in the state of Connecticut. He cares deeply for working families. He cares for gender identity, gender equality, and he and I have stood on the picket lines with our local unions fighting for living wages and proper health care benefits. He stands up for the right to love who you choose, supporting same-sex marriage, and continues to fight for LGBTQ equality and rights. He supports a person's right to choose, and he advocates for protecting reproductive rights and fights deceptive healthcare practices like crisis pregnancy centers. He has proven to be a tireless advocate for us and a voice in Hartford. Bob brings back funds for the city of Norwalk, fighting hard to make sure that Norwalk is treated fairly up in Hartford. We know that that has not always been the case, but Bob has fought for us to make sure that Hartford hears our voice and Bob's strong voice up there. Bob has the ear of the governor, of the Senate President Pro Tem, and he has the ears of all his fellow senators and the representatives from not only the city of Norwalk, but from around the state. Across administrations, Bob has been a steady voice for us. We are fortunate to have him fighting for us. As I said before, he fights for equality, fights for families, fights for Norwalk. You know, I could go on and on and on about all the things that Bob means to us in the state of Connecticut, what he means to us in Hartford, and how he does stand up for us. I think one of the most telling things about Bob is he is there whenever we need him. He is there fighting constantly for us. He has been a champion for the city of Norwalk and the state of Connecticut. I can't think of anybody that I would prefer having up in Hartford other than Bob Duff. And I want to thank him for all the wonderful things he's done for us, all the fights he's fought, and all the hard work that he does on a day in and day out basis for our city. So again, it is my honor, my privilege, my pleasure to nominate my good friend, the state of Connecticut's good friend, and Bob, standing up for you, Duff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have a second for the nomination of Bob Duff? Please do so by unmuting yourself and speaking.
Yes, David Bain. I am Darien DTC chair and a former three-term selectman of the town of Darien. I've known Bob for over 15 years, and I'm very proud to second his nomination to state senate. Bob has proven himself time and again to be a tireless champion for both Darien and Norwalk. However, it's been in this time of crisis that he's shown the true depth of his passion and commitment for the people that he serves. I can attest that Bob has been working 7 days a week, helping real people solve real problems created by this unprecedented health crisis, while also providing the rest of us with the information that we need to keep ourselves and our families safe. Times of crisis test the character of everyone, but they particularly magnify the qualities of a leader. And in this time of crisis, Bob has proven himself to be an exceptional leader of whom we can all be proud. When Bob says he's standing up for you, that's not just a campaign slogan. It's his way of life. So on behalf of the Darien Democrats and on behalf of the people of Darien, I proudly second the nomination of Senator Bob Duff for another term in the Connecticut State Senate.
Thank you so much. Are there any
Hi,
other?
Eloisa, I'm sorry, it's Sherelle. I just want to let you know that I'm in. I just wanted to wait for everyone to finish speaking.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I move the nomination for the 25th State Senate District to be closed, and I make a motion to vote by acclamation by one unanimous ballot for our nominee, Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff. I would now like to introduce our state senator and Democratic candidate for the state Senate for the 25th District, Bob Duff.
Thank you, Eloisa, and thank you, everybody. I see all the applauses there. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And thank you all for joining me tonight in this State Senate convention. It means a lot to have your time and your support during a very difficult time right now in our nation's history and in our state's history as well. So I just want to first and foremost thank Eloisa and Sherrod for helping with tonight and making it run so smoothly. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor Rilling, for your tireless work and your kind words. It really means a lot. You and David both know how to make a guy's day, I got to tell you. I really appreciated both of your words and your friendship and your support over the years. It really means a lot to me. And it's a pleasure to work with both of you all the time on these issues that are so important to us as not only as Democrats, but also as residents and citizens of our respective communities in our state. So thank you both, Mayor Rilling and David, for your kind words. I want to also thank the delegates for being out here tonight. I know we have some who are on the Common Council and you're doing double duty right now. So having you both here, having you all here means the world to me that you would take time out of your busy schedules to be a part of this convention tonight. Hello, Lucia, nice to see you as well. But I just want to mention, and I'll be brief on this because there's so much to do and there's so many things that we have to continue to fight for. First and foremost, I'm very honored to accept this nomination, and it is more important than ever that we continue to fight for the things that matter to us as Democrats, because it matters to the people of the city of Norwalk and to the people of the town of Darien. Last year, we got to work on a number of very important issues, such as raising the minimum wage, passing paid family medical leave, and so many other things that mean a lot to our families in the district and across the state of Connecticut. We've had great partnerships with Governor Lamont and the legislature in order to make a lot of these issues that we have fought so hard for a reality. I want to thank my legislative delegation that works so hard as well. And I know we have Representative Travis Sims here, we have Representative Dathan and Representative Perrone, who all work really hard day in and day out in the House, and together we work as a partnership. Same as the local level with our Board of Ed, our City Council, and of course with Mayor Rilling as well. And in Darien, we work with many of the elected and appointed officials there also. Let me just also mention that during this time of crisis, that is totally unprecedented. It is very, very important for us as legislators and legislative leaders to continue to ensure that we are doing the jobs that we were elected to do, that we are working hard to communicate with the public, that we're giving them good information, that we are working together in order to move our city, our town, and our state forward. You know, as a legislative leader, I've been very glad to work with Governor Lamont and his team on so many different issues during this pandemic. I've been very glad to work in a bipartisan basis with my counterparts in the House and Senate on various issues so that we can protect the health and safety of the public, but also work to reopen our economy, but do it in a way that doesn't put people at risk. So it's been an extraordinary time. It's been a very busy time, and it's probably been busier now in this role, in this time, than it probably has ever been before. And I want to continue to do that. You know, I always tell people that you know, public service is my passion. I still love the job. I still love being able to help people who come to me and need help, because generally when they come to me is a time when they are a little more frustrated than normal. And so if I can help them and help make their lives a little bit better, I try to do that. I always try, of course, to work to make the district a little bit better and move our state forward as well. And I'm so glad of some of the things that we've done over the last few years, such as have the largest rainy day fund in state's history, not raid that rainy day fund that had been proposed by my friends on the other side of the aisle. That has positioned us here in Connecticut to weather the recession and the storm that we're in right now with COVID-19. So a lot of the decisions that we made have been on a long-term basis that have been done with the best interest of the people of my district and for the people of the state of Connecticut. And I want to continue to serve in the state Senate. So I'll be working hard, talking to people, whether it's virtually, in person, however things kind of play out throughout this election cycle. But I enjoy and I love to do this job that I do. Standing up for you, as David had said, and the mayor said, is more than just a slogan. It's something that has brought that passion to me during this time that I've been in public life. And last thing I'll just mention to you is that at a time when, again, it is very stressful for everyone in our community, we have to make sure that we are being kind, we are being compassionate, and we are reaching out our hand virtually to our friends and our neighbors and our loved ones. We have to make sure that we stay in touch. We have to make sure that we show a kind hand, that we show the loves that we have in our communities, and that we are compassionate for each other during a time of high stress and uncertainty. So if you all remember, 2 years ago, I had these magnets. It says, kindness comes back to you, if you can see it here. And I'll have more of those, but kindness comes back to you really is, I think, just as important today as it was 2 years ago. And we want to make sure that we remain kind, remain compassionate, and that we do what we need to do in order to help our fellow residents here in the city of Norwalk and the town of Darien. So once again, thank you so much for the honor. It's very much appreciated. And I thank all of you who have helped me along the way and who have my back and who ensure that we have a city and a town that continues to move forward and speaks to the values that we all know and love. Thank you so much.